week, we gave you a history of violence in video games, the violent crimes that have been linked to video game obsession, from teens killing their parents over their PlayStation to suicides linked to MMOs. But a new article from the BBC calls any link between video games and violence into serious question. In fact, this recent article highlights how video games may have actually lowered the crime rate, at least in the US. As long as naysayers have pointed the finger at violence in video games whenever a teen acts out, supporters of video games often list off the benefits of these games. Aside from improved hand-eye coordination, video games promote focus with enhanced peripherals. Popular American author Steven Johnson wrote a book entitled Everything Bad is Good for You. In the book, he describes video games as more beneficial than traditional board games. In contrast to a game of Scrabble, in video games, you not only have to obtain your objective, but you actually have to determine what your objective is. And as modern gaming becomes more complex, so does this initial task. He also speaks on the analytical skills in video gaming, how learning the boundaries, goals, and controls of a given game requires many different areas of cognitive function. Additionally, video games have been used as effective teaching tools in schools. They are so effective that players of these games adopt such high concentration that they don't even realize that they're learning, which is the goal. And now, the crime rate is down in the US and has sharply dropped since 2008. Why? In an article by the BBC, 10 speculative reasons are given. The election of Obama, the lowering demand for crack, the baby boomers grew up, and the jails actually house many of the criminals now. But reason number 9 was what caught my eye. It read as follows. A study released last month suggested video games are keeping young people off the streets and therefore away from crime. Researchers in Texas, working with the Center for European Economic Research, said this incapacitation effect more than offset any direct impact the content of games may have had in encouraging violent behavior. That's fairly interesting. So maybe the government really just needs to give out free PS3s and Xbox 360s and we could all just be happy and crime-free. Right, that would probably fix all of our problems. If only video games could solve everything. Maybe they can. Someday.